Welcome back to the Business Book Club.
Great to be back.
Today, we're diving into a really foundational text. It pretty much changed the game for how businesses think about connecting with customers.
You're talking about positioning, The Battle for Your Mind by Ries and Jack Trout, an absolute classic.
That's the one, legendary strategists. And they kick off with this, well, really bold idea.
Yeah, the Overcommunicated Society, that's the core premise, isn't it?
Exactly. It's not that we, fail to communicate. It's the communication itself has become the problem. There's just too much noise.
Way too much. We're sending out more messages than ever, but less and less actually lands, gets received.
So our mission for this deep dive is basically to unpack what they mean by this overcommunicated world.
And then the really crucial part.
Yeah, how their concept of positioning offers a totally new approach, like a shortcut.
A shortcut, yeah, to cut through all that noise and actually capture, a little piece of the prospect's mind.
It's a fascinating idea. Let's get into it.
Okay, so this overcommunicated society, it forces us to face a pretty basic truth about, the human mind.
Which is?
It's finite. Honestly, it's not built for the sheer volume of information we throw at it.
Like a container that's too small.
Exactly. Our brains can really only juggle about, 7 bits of information at once, roughly?
7? That's surprisingly low when you think about it.
It is. And if you push past that limit, sensory overload, that's what they call it, the brain just, it goes blank, shuts down processing new stuff.
Wow. And think about marketing messages alone. Thousands a day, right? Plus everything else in life.
It's overwhelming. So when our minds hit that wall, we start filtering aggressively.
How does that filtering work?
We filter out anything new that doesn't, this doesn't compute, or anything that doesn't line up with what we already believe or expect.
So that's where the seeing what you expect to see comes in.
Exactly. Or tasting what you expect to taste. It's not about objective reality.
It's about perception, what's already in the mind.
Precisely. And this is the big leap. The solution isn't about tinkering with the product's features, it's reality.
It's about understanding and, influencing the prospect's perception.
Yes. They quote John Lindsay talking about politics. Perception is the reality.
And Ries and Trout say that applies just as much to advertising, to business, to life.
Absolutely. The real battle isn't for shelf space, it's for mental space.
Okay, so if only a tiny fraction of any message gets through,
Yeah.
What's the strategy? Just shout louder?
Nope, that's the trap. The answer is the opposite. It's the oversimplified message.
Less is more.
Less is absolutely more. You have to sharpen your message like a knife, make it incredibly focused.
So it can cut right through the clutter.
Exactly. You have to focus on the receiving end, the prospect's mind, not just on broadcasting your message. Precision over volume.
Okay, so how does the mind organize this stuff? If it's filtering so much, how does it keep track of the brands it does let in?
That's where the idea of mental ladders comes in. It's a great visual.
Mental ladders.
Yeah.
Like in your head.
Yeah. Imagine your mind has these different ladders, one for each product category you care about. Rental cars, soft drinks, computers, whatever.
Okay.
And each step, or rung, on that ladder holds a brand name.
So it's like a ranking system we create subconsciously.
Pretty much. It's how we cope with the complexity. We rank things to make choices easier.
Like for rental cars.
Yeah.
Maybe Hertz is on top for a lot of people.
Often, yes. Then maybe Avis below it, National below that. That's a typical ladder.
And soft drinks. Coke on top?
Usually Coke, then Pepsi. And then you have brands like 7-Up, which did something clever.
What was that?
They positioned themselves as the uncola. They created a sort of alternative rung by directly referencing the main cola ladder. Very smart.
So it's all about where you sit on that ladder in the prospect's mind.
Exactly. And that leads to maybe the single biggest advantage in positioning.
Which is?
Being first. The first brand to claim a rung on a new ladder in the prospect's mind.
The Lindbergh lesson.
You got it. Everyone remembers Charles Lindbergh, first solo flight across the Atlantic.
But the second guy? Nope. Blanking.
Exactly. Almost nobody remembers Burt Hinkler, who was actually second. It's the same with Neil Armstrong on the moon.
First man.
Yeah.
We all know him. Second, Buzz Aldrin. Okay, but most people outside of space buffs might struggle.
Right. Or Mount Everest, the highest mountain. Everyone knows it.
But the second highest. K2?
Yeah.
Is that it? Point is, it doesn't have nearly the same recall.
Precisely. Being first creates this incredibly powerful, lasting impression.
And how does that translate to business results?
Dramatically. History shows the first brand in a category tends to capture double the long-term market share of the number 2 brand.
Double. That's huge.
It is. Think about IBM. They didn't actually invent the computer. Sperry Rand did.
Really? I didn't know that.
But IBM was the first company to build a strong position for computers in the public's mind. They essentially got on that ladder first.
Like Coca-Cola with cola drinks. They were first.
Exactly. Being first gives you this, well, almost an unfair advantage because you own that top rung. You define the category.
Okay, this is where it gets potentially tough for newcomers or anyone not number 1.
Yeah.
They say pretty bluntly, second is nowhere. But hang on, with viral marketing, social media influencers, can't a really clever campaign boost a number 2 or even a new player right to the top these days? Hasn't that changed?
That's the hope, isn't it? But Ries and Trout would likely argue the fundamental problem, the noise level, the overcommunication, is actually worse now.
So even a brilliant campaign struggles to cut through.
It's incredibly difficult. They point out that many companies waste fortunes trying to lift a Me Too product, one that's basically like the leader, into the top spot with just advertising.
And it usually fails.
Often, yes. Especially if you try to go head-on against an established leader. Think about RCA trying to take on IBM in the mainframe computer business back in the day.
How did that go?
Billions lost, a massive failure. You generally can't dislodge an entrenched leader by attacking them directly on their own turf.
So if you can't go head-to-head, what's the move for everyone else? Just give up.
Not at all. That's where strategy comes in. They say don't fight fire with fire.
Fight fire with water.
Exactly. Instead of a frontal assault, you need to find a créneau.
A créneau. That's French, right? For niche.
Yeah, basically a gap and an unoccupied slot on an existing mental ladder, or maybe even a chance to create a whole new ladder.
Like Volkswagen did with small cars.
Perfect example. American car companies were all about big cars. Bigger is better.
And VW came in with think small.
Brilliant. They found and owned that small car créneau in people's minds when no one else was really focused there.
Are there other ways to find a créneau?
Oh, yeah, lots. You can position by a specific target audience, like AIM toothpaste. Remember that? It was positioned for kids against Crest, maybe?
I remember AIM. Or time of use.
Right, like NyQuil, the nighttime cold medicine. That was its specific créneau.
Or distribution.
Legs hosiery, selling pantyhose in supermarkets in those plastic eggs. Totally different distribution channel created a position.
Or even targeting heavy users, like they mentioned with Schaefer beer.
Exactly. Find a specific group or need or place or time that isn't already owned.
Okay, but are there traps here? Things to avoid when looking for this créneau?
Definitely. 2 big ones. The factory créneau and the everybody trap.
Factory créneau, what's that?
That's creating a product variation just because your factory can easily make it without checking if there's actually a mental gap for it.
Ah, it's internally focused, not externally focused on the customer's mind.
Precisely. And the everybody trap is trying to appeal to everyone.
Which means you end up appealing to no one specifically.
Pretty much. You dilute your position. They use Ford's Edsel as a classic example of, well, both traps maybe.
The Edsel. Famous flop. Why did it fail from a positioning standpoint?
There just wasn't a clear créneau for another medium-priced car loaded with chrome. The mental space was already crowded. It didn't stand for anything unique.
So you have to be willing to not appeal to some people to strongly appeal to your target group.
Yes. You have to carve out your specific turf.
Okay, but what if you look really hard and there just isn't an obvious open créneau? The ladder seems full. Now what?
Right. This is where it gets even more strategic. You might need to reposition the competition.
Reposition them, not yourself.
Exactly. It's about saying or doing something that makes the prospect rethink the competitor's position, not necessarily yours directly.
Huh. How does that work?
You're essentially trying to make their position seem less desirable or maybe open up space by changing how people see them.
Can you give an example?
Tylenol did this brilliantly against aspirin. They didn't just say Tylenol is great. They highlighted aspirin's potential side effects, like stomach irritation.
Ah, so they repositioned aspirin as potentially risky, making Tylenol seem like the safer alternative.
Exactly. Or another one they mentioned, Royal Doulton China, pointing out that their competitor Lennox was made in New Jersey.
Not some exotic European location, maybe.
Right. For some buyers, that repositioned Lennox as maybe less exclusive, perhaps. It changes the perception of the competitor.
That's subtle, but powerful. It really drives home that the solution is usually in the prospect's mind, not the product itself.
That's the core idea. Like the Milk Duds example, repositioning other candy bars as maybe too soft, making Milk Duds' chewiness a desirable trait for some. It's all perception management.
This makes me think about naming. How important is the actual name in all this?
Oh, incredibly important. They argue it might be the most important marketing decision you make.
Really? More than the product itself?
In terms of positioning, yes. The name is the hook. It's what hangs your brand on that mental ladder.
So, Shakespeare was wrong. A rose by any other name wouldn't smell as sweet.
In marketing terms, probably not. Perception is tied so tightly to the name. A strong name, maybe one that's descriptive or sounds generic for the category, can be huge long-term.
And bad names can create confusion.
Absolutely. Think about those examples like Goodrich versus Goodyear, the Akron twins. Similar names create confusion. Or those glass companies in Toledo, Owens, Illinois, Owens Corning, Libby Owens Ford. Too similar, too confusing, dilutes identity.
Okay, so clarity is key. What about using initials? Like shortening a company name to GE or IBM. That seems common. Good idea or a bad idea, especially for a startup?
Generally a bad idea, especially for unknowns. It's a huge trap they call the no-name trap.
Why? Initials seem short, modern?
Because the mind remembers sounds better than abstract letters. IBM works because IBM was already incredibly famous before the initials became the common way to refer to it. The fame came first.
Ah, so the meaning was already established.
Right. For a new company or one without that massive pre-existing fame, initials are just anonymous, confusing. Right. They don't hook onto anything in the mind.
That makes sense. Like trying to remember a license plate versus a name. What's the other big naming pitfall, especially for established brands?
The line extension trap. This one is so common.
What is it exactly?
It's taking the name of your successful product and slapping it onto a new, different product. Dial soap is famous, so let's make Dial deodorant, Dial air freshener.
Or Bayer aspirin, and then Bayer non-aspirin.
Exactly. Logically, from inside the company, it seems efficient. Leverage the brand equity, save on marketing costs.
But from the outside, the customer's perspective,
it confuses things, it weakens the original brand's position. If Dial means soap, what does Dial deodorant mean? If Bayer means aspirin, what on earth is Bayer non-aspirin? It creates cognitive dissonance.
It's that inside-out thinking again, isn't it? Assuming customers see the world like the company does.
Totally. But the prospect thinks outside in. To them, a strong brand name often becomes a stand-in, a surrogate for the original product category. Extending it muddles that clear association.
Like Protein 21 shampoo, trying to be a shampoo, conditioner, and hairspray. Too much.
Yeah, it blurred the position and ultimately failed. Or Scott paper products, Scott towels, Scott tissues, Scotties. It kind of blurs what Scott fundamentally stands for in the paper goods category.
You have that bartender test too, right?
Yeah, it's a great illustration. If you walk into a bar and say Cuddy, the bartender should know you want Cuddy Sark Scotch. But if you have to specify Cuddy 12, because there are multiple versions under the same core name, it signals the brand identity is diluted, confused.
So what's the better approach when launching something new?
Often, a new name. Give the new product its own identity, its own chance to build a unique position on a ladder.
Like Lifesavers Candy launching Bubble Yum Bubblegum.
Exactly. Not Lifesavers Bubblegum. Bubble Yum built its own massive success with its own name and position. A new product usually needs a new ladder, and thus, a new name.
Okay, this has been a fantastic breakdown. As we wrap up, let's try to crystallize the key actionable lessons. What should entrepreneurs, marketers, anyone really take away from this? The mental checklist.
All right. Number 1, focus on the prospect's mind. Seriously, stop looking inside your own company or product for answers. The real game is external, in perception.
Got it. Number 2,
define your ownable position. Find that unique créneau, that specific rung you can realistically dominate. Don't just copy the leader or jump into a crowded space without a clear angle.
Makes sense.
3rd, strategize against competitors wisely. Don't pick fights you can't win. No head-on attacks against entrenched leaders. Look for flanks, specialize, or even reposition them.
Number 4,
commit for the long term. Positioning isn't a quick fix. It builds over time. You need consistency and patience. Don't keep changing your core message.
good reminder. 5th,
embrace simplicity. Less is more. In this noisy world, your message has to be incredibly simple, clear, and sharp to cut through. Complexity kills.
Number 6, related to what we just discussed.
Name it, right? Crucial, especially for startups. It's maybe your most vital marketing choice. Avoid those meaningless initials. Pick a name that helps establish your position.
7th.
Avoid the line extension trap. Seriously resist the urge to dilute your strong brands by sticking the name on unrelated products. Give new products new names to build their own positions.
And finally, number 8, which applies maybe more broadly.
Yeah, find your horse to ride. This applies to careers too. Don't just try harder in a losing situation. Align yourself with growing trends, strong companies, good mentors. Sometimes you need to find the right wave to ride.
Wow. Those are powerful takeaways. It really feels like these concepts, even though they were formulated decades ago, are maybe more relevant than ever today.
I think so. The noise level has only increased. Understanding how to navigate the battle for the mind is critical.
Absolutely. So a challenge for you listening: think about a brand you use all the time. What's its mental ladder? Where does it sit? Is it the leader? Or did it find a really clever créneau? It's a fascinating lens to view the market through.
It really changes how you see advertising and branding.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the core ideas of positioning, the battle for your mind. Incredibly insightful stuff.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. And don't forget to subscribe to the Business Book Club for more insights like these, designed to give you that competitive edge.
Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.